stop asking if they can get dumber, because the answer is always yes, and that is depressing, and I don't want to be depressed. This says the Democrats' $50,000 student loan forgiveness plan would make 36 million borrowers debt-free. Yippee! Why not go for 40 million? Let's find some other people who've taken on debt, who have legally agreed, hey, I'm going to borrow this money to pay for an asset, it will appreciate in value, and I will be able to pay off my debt. Why wouldn't you just find all people who have debt at all and forgive it all? Give a credit card guy who's got $16,000 in different credit card loans, have him get that debt gone. Just wipe it away. Why not? We have the money, apparently. We're giving it to Sudan and Pakistan and everyone else. Why wouldn't we just do that? The Democrats have a plan, but only for the people who recently graduated college with tons of debt that they'll never be able to pay off. Why? Because they need a lifelong voter, and they know, hey, if you don't vote for us, we'll just repeal that, and all of a sudden you'll owe 50 grand plus interest, and it'll be 20 years from now. You see their plan here? They're going to create indentured servants by saying we will forgive the loan for now. If you vote us out of office, it will be back on. You know that's their plan. It's an up to $50,000 forgiveness. So let's just say the Democrats' plan here doesn't include anyone who's going for a higher education. And I don't mean to crap on the CCs and the in-state colleges, because I went to an in-state college and I would have preferred, looking back on it, I would have gone to a CC, if at all. But if you're going to go and be a doctor or a lawyer or a professional engineer, you'll need secondary education, and you won't be able to go to an undergrad and then go to secondary for under 50 total. So this encourages you to get a cheap, debt-full education that you will not use. They say the Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, of New York, along with the Senators Elizabeth Warren and others, Senator Elizabeth Warren and other Democratic legislators on Thursday reintroduced a resolution again calling for the White House to forgive up to $50,000 in student debt for all borrowers by executive action. Just wipe it away. Where does the money come from? The banks are owed that money. That will come from the economy somewhere else. It'll come from you and me. We didn't borrow the money for these people who graduated over the last 10 years, but you and I will pay for it. They say during a time of historic and overlapping crises, which are disproportionately impacting communities of color, we must do everything in our power to deliver real relief to the American people, lift up our struggling economy, and close the racial wealth gap, Chuck Schumer says in a statement. You know, Chuck Schumer is the black population's biggest ally. If you're a person of color, Chuck Schumer is your best homie. Don't worry, I say homie with my homies too. Democrats are committed to big, bold action, and this resolution to cancel up to $50,000 in federal student loan debt is one of the strongest steps the president can take to achieving these goals. Wait, federal student loan debt. So these are loans taken out through the federal government. Not a private loan. They're not giving back anyone's money who's paid. Hey, did you borrow 20 grand, but you've already paid it off? Well, good for you. By the way, the money that you used, we also taxed to pay for this, for the people that didn't pay it yet. You see how this is fair, right? They borrowed money, so maybe did you. But if you paid it off and they didn't, well, we're going to pay for theirs. And for you, you get an attaboy and a tax bill. Unreal. Do you have a college degree? Do you use it? Probably not. You probably don't. This says only 27% of college grads have a job even related to their major. And you know what that means, related to your major. If your major was, like mine, international relations with a subset in political economy, then you would think I would be doing something. 1 out of 4 times I would have a job in international relations. I don't. So I'm one of the 3 out of 4 that do not have a job even related to their degree. Just to be clear, the odds are that you don't use your degree. I'm not using mine. And the people that got degrees recently that are begging for forgiveness from their debt because now they realize they're not going to use them either. Tough noogies, dude. You bought a bad degree. Lady, you bought a useless degree and we told you it was useless when you went. And you said, no, lesbian feminist dance theory is absolutely going to be useful in a 21st century world. Well, it's not. It's not. At least not yet. So we're not going to pay for that degree. It's useless. Just like your education. Because the degree and the education are different. You may have not ever matriculated, meaning you may have never graduated and gotten a degree, but you still have student loans. So this is asking major-wise. We're not asking degrees. Only 27% of college grads have a job related to their major. So if you drop out in year 3 from your feminist dance theory classes and you get a job at Starbucks, you could answer this and say, I do have a job related to my degree or to my major. You didn't get a degree. Do you see where we're going here? What is the total in student loan debt? It's $1.68 trillion. In student loan debt total in the United States, federal loans, that's 42.3 million Americans with student loans through the federal government. They each on average owe 36 grand. So Biden's plan gets about 4/5 of them covered under this. He'll forgive about $1 trillion, a little over $1 trillion. Why not go for broke? We're already there, right? We're bankrupt. We're $23 trillion in debt. Why not go another 16? Biden, if you had any stones ever in your life, you would do this. And you know what? One up the Democrat Senate, who says, let's forgive the student loans because we need to buy the next generation of voters. And there's no better way to buy the next lower middle class than to currently pay off the idiots who bought bad degrees. Tell me I'm wrong. Change my mind. The $16 trillion that is currently tied up in mortgage debt in the United States, that would far better benefit every American that owns any property, right? If you have a mortgage, and let's whittle this number down. Let's say that it's not total mortgages, it's just private home ownership mortgages. If we looked at that number, I'm sure it would be far less. I bet you it's closer to 8 trillion. So say that it is, say that it's 10. You could forgive $8 trillion and every single person would be making use of that home. It wouldn't be this 27% of people that use a degree. It'd be 100% of people that live in their home. That sounds like a much better number. 100% over 27? If you paid off 36 million Americans to have 1/4 of them use the degree you're paying them for, I think it would be a much better use of our money to 10x the number and have everyone in the United States live for free. Because apparently money grows on trees and we don't care about the interest rate we're paying on debt as a nation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. For the record, I don't actually think that any of this would be smart. But if you're going to suggest student loan forgiveness, I'm going to suggest my mortgage forgiveness. I'm at least paying taxes. No student grad with no real job yet has paid a lick in taxes. That's my final thought. Let me know yours in the comments below. Like the video, share the video everywhere that you can because growth has been great and it could be better. Keep it up and keep America afloat.